The understanding of the, I don't want to use 3D, I mean, I always thought 3D was the form, the world, but it's not, that's your state of consciousness. And that's why how you perceive the form depends on your own individual consciousness level. Hence, we have our own self-experiences, which is the experience of the self. Hence, everyone has the different experiences, because everyone is their own unique point. Hence, you have people that have their own unique experiences, thus they grow differently. And that, for me, is what this is. It's a experience of self, experience of one point in this form. And that form, it seems to be inert in a way, because you see it differently depending on what consciousness level state that you're in. Yet it always looks the same because the form never changes. It's like it's been frozen in a state. In a weird way, that makes sense. I'm staring at a tree at the moment while I'm saying this to help me to put it into words. Like, the tree has its own consciousness, though as you understand that tree's consciousness changes depending on your own. Though the form of the tree never changes. Hence, the consciousness level of the self-experience is what determines the level of everything else that you see. It's not because I am everything. I am everything just means that you are on the consciousness level of that which is around you. In this case, the form, which would be 3D consciousness, or 4D depending. When you step into the higher consciousness dimensions, that's when the form stops becoming your reality and you become your own reality, which is your consciousness. And I can't explain that. That is the only way I can explain it, because that is when you truly are not in the 3D anymore, because you see the form and that's all it is. It's inert, there's nothing there, you're not connected to it, you're not feeling it as yourself. That's when you're connected in to that level. It is me, because I am on the same consciousness level as it. I'm connected to that dimensional consciousness. But as you go up in the consciousness, you realise that that is no longer your reality. Your reality is your own self. And that's not the self as in the body, the mind, the emotions. I mean the self as in your consciousness experience of a self, of a point. Whereas the separate and the individual independent state of that point is the consciousness which gives you your own independent reality and understanding. That made sense. I don't need to know all this, but I find it really interesting. And while I'm in my waiting/pause mode, what else can I do? I find it all really fascinating. And I absolutely love trying to work it out. Well, not work it out, but I love to come across an understanding. Because it helps me grow more. And I don't believe in having to leave the mind behind because it's 3D or anything like that. The mind is kind of like having a ZX Spectrum emulator on a modern day PC. The mind is like the emulator, but it's still a part of the main, the whole, you know. So I don't believe in leaving it behind. I think that's just a rejection of part of your own experience of self. So I'm very much for taking all these parts. It just takes a little bit of time. I say a little bit, it takes a lot.